Cardano and Solana have grown massively in the past year, becoming real threats to Ethereum. They've become viable alternative platforms for creating smart contracts and decentralized applications. The natural question is, which of these two is the better investment? Well, in this video, we'll share vital details that you need to consider before putting your money into either. And by the end, we'll reveal which of the two that, well, I think is the better investment. So stay with me until the end. Hello, by the way, your Crypto Knight Matty here, and this is the channel that aims to spread awareness on cryptocurrencies, Crypto Knights. I'm here once again to share and spread awareness on everything crypto. But before we go into which of the two biggest blockchains are the most rewarding investment, please know that whatever I share is not financial advice, please. And we on Crypto Knights are not mandated to create videos for any brand, any service, or any cryptocurrency. I'm just another guy crazy about cryptocurrencies, deep into investing in them, with a passion for spreading awareness and education on the many possibilities that cryptocurrencies offer. So with that out of the way, we can help determine which Cardano or Solana is worth your money, your investment, and why. So if you hang out often with the crypto crowd on Twitter or Reddit, you will no doubt be familiar with the phrase Ethereum Killer. Well, the phrase refers to an ideal third-generation blockchain with smart contract support that fills the gaps that Ethereum is missing, mainly the issue of scalability and an eco-conscious consensus mechanism. 2017 was the year of ICOs, initial coin offerings, with a new crypto project popping up every other week, promising to be the one, the Ethereum Killer that we've been waiting for, each with a fancy new white paper and media shoutouts. Now, most of these projects have vanished into thin air, confirming what most cynics suspected, that they'll never work outside of their white paper. Now, Cardano and Solana are part of the few Ethereum killers that made it out of that wave, and both cryptocurrencies survived the cynics and intense competition to become the biggest threats to Ethereum's smart contract system. They have proven not just to be viable alternatives to Ethereum, but come out with unique and impressive features that have made them favorites for DApp developers, earning them both a spot in the list of the 6 biggest cryptocurrencies for the most part since 2020. Said list is based on the market cap of their native cryptocurrencies, ADA for Cardano and Sol for Solana. The tremendous leap in popularity and market value make both projects top investment prospects. Independently, Cardano and Solana created a working substitute to the proof-of-work consensus mechanism that has suffered criticism for its very slow transaction processing power and high energy consumption. While for the most part, the proof-of-work mechanism utilized by Ethereum and Bitcoin, well, worked like a charm. It was revolutionary. Transactions are automated, permanently documented, and permissionless. The only way to gain control over the network is to own over 50% of all the nodes that make it. Good luck with that. However, as more and more people start to use these blockchains, 2 significant flaws become apparent. One is the insane amount of electricity consumed in the validation process. Computing power is needed to solve the puzzle that earns you the right to mine a block. Competition among these miners means that each one dedicates intense computing power, as much as each miner can afford really, to be the first one to solve each puzzle. This process is the work in proof of work. And the process translates to tons of electricity being wasted on powering these computers that exist only to solve puzzles. Ethereum infamously uses as much electricity as the country Netherlands uses per year. And an average transaction on the platform uses as much power as you would use in your house for over a week. In a time when we are careful of our impact on our environment, it's hard to justify that much energy is being used so frivolously. The second handicap is the slow transaction processing speed. Transaction processing speed on blockchains is measured as transactions per second, or TPS. The speed is known as throughput, and Ethereum and Bitcoin are notoriously slow. Ethereum is only capable of 15 transactions per second, which is infinitesimally small compared to 1,700 TPS provided by a traditional payment service like Visa. This handicap is known as the scalability problem. Whew! That ended up being a bit of a mouthful, but it is vital to cover this issue whenever there is a discussion about Ethereum killers. But why? Well, you see, because their approach to solving the handicaps of the proof-of-work system is integral to their adoption by users, and consequently their acceptance by the market and returns as investments. So now to the question, how do Cardano and Solana compare as investments? How well do they solve the scalability issue without compromising the highly prized decentralized values and network security? And how do these affect their worths as investments? On the scalability front, Solana takes the lead. Initial tests on the Solana blockchain found it can support over 50,000 transactions per second, which are leaps over Ethereum. Cardano's throughput by comparison is just about 250 TPS. It should be mentioned, though, that Cardano already has plans for a second layer solution that will increase its throughput to 1 million transactions per second. How's that? But this is hardly a unique proposal, with Ethereum having similar plans to increase its throughput. While Cardano's throughput is still exponentially more than Ethereum's, it is still way behind traditional payment services. It uses the proof-of-stake consensus mechanism designated as Ouroboros. Now, proof-of-stake systems like Ouroboros is way more eco-friendly, cutting down that electricity that's needed for validation by order of magnitude. Rather than having computers solve mathematical puzzles, miners, the stakers in this case, only have to deposit and lock an amount of ADA tokens to qualify to create a block. Other security architecture remains the same as the proof-of-work system. Solana, on the other hand, can achieve incredibly high throughput by bypassing most of the problems of the conventional consensus protocols. Solana introduced something new, a proof-of-history consensus mechanism. Proof of history simply is proof of historical events. The proof of history protocol can independently track activities on the Solana network to specific moments in time. From here, it generates a record of events and the specific time they occurred using a cryptographic function called verifiable delay function, or VDF for short. The proof of history aspect of Solana's consensus system speeds up the throughput by eliminating the need for validators to agree on the passage of events. Instead, other validators can verify the block creator's work from the record created by the VDF. Solana combines these unique mechanisms with the familiar proof-of-stake mechanism Cardano and other third-generation blockchain use. The proof-of-stake system ensures the network stays trustless and secure. Every validator risks losing their staked tokens if others find any hint of corruption from its node, forcing them to be honest. Yes. Whereas a malicious party would need to own over half the staked tokens to gain control over the network, which, well, it's practically impossible. However, Solana's extraordinary throughput does not come without its drawbacks, massive ones at that. Solana enjoyed massive growth in the second quarter of 2021 as DeFi and NFT projects on the platform blossomed. But this was when the Solana network started showing weaknesses. The network crashed in the middle of September last year, halting transactions for over 17 hours. Solana Labs, the team behind the blockchain, said the downtime was caused by bots overwhelming the network during an IDO event. Now, downtime in a blockchain that is supposed to be decentralized, well, that's a huge deal. Not only did it raise questions about the network's reliability, but it also called attention to Solana's decentralized nature. It was found that 5 data centers have control over almost 50% of all the nodes in Solana's network. Such concentration of nodes borders too close to being a centralized platform. There have been at least 7 more downtimes on the Solana network since September 2021. Solana's dependability issue sharply contrasts with the way Cardano does things. Cardano is slow at implementing features on its blockchain, even essential ones like smart contract capabilities. It wasn't until September last year that Cardano launched its smart contract services needed to create decentralized applications. Nevertheless, every implementation on the network has worked just as promised. However slow Cardano has been in the race, it has always been reliable. The major reason why Cardano has a slow implementation is because of the academic peer review process its developers have adopted over the more typical white paper release. The Cardano team publishes journals with detailed workings of their features before it's launched and invites reviews and critiques to the research paper. This process ensures that the platform's inner workings remain transparent and foolproof. Okay, so now that we've got all that covered, let's run some numbers. After all, this is all about investments, right? So Solana currently has the 9th highest market cap in the crypto market at about $11 billion, despite the current bear run. Cardano sits comfortably ahead at number 7 with a market cap of $17 billion. Of the 45 billion maximum supply of Cardano's ADA, over 33 billion are already in circulation. That's about 73%. Solana has no such limit, however, with over 342 million SOL tokens in circulation right now. The maximum cap on ADA ensures scarcity and helps it to retain its value as a currency. Solana replicates this effect by buying back and burning excess tokens in circulation. But as with the data center issue, Solana Labs has not been forthright with the actual amount of SOL tokens in circulation. In April 2021, with the circulating supply of SOL was still at about 8.2 million, the team faced a situation where the circulating supply was distorted. Solana Labs quickly refuted the rumor, only for independent investigators to discover an underclosed wallet with about 13 million SOL. It was only after the discovery that the team fessed up, saying the fund was a loan to a market maker. Cardano and Solana have been very rewarding for their investors so far. Both SOL and ADA have similar investment returns, with ADA edging out with 445% returns over SOL's 434 since their official launch. Regardless, Solana enjoys higher adoption. It currently has over 1,300 DApp projects running on its network. Cardano is not far off either, with over 400 projects, considering that its smart contract services launched less than a year ago in September 2021. In summary, while both Cardano and Solana took on the scalability problem that faces proof-of-work-based blockchains, they achieved different levels of success. Solana currently processes transactions 200 times faster than Cardano. Both projects enjoy incredible community support, growing tremendously during the DeFi summer of 2021. They have both succeeded in creating a more eco-friendly blockchain and reducing gas fees to very reasonable levels on their networks. Ultimately, the decision of which of the two currencies to invest in rests in the hands of the investor. Now, this is not investment advice, but personally, I'm biased towards Cardano. Despite their slow pace, they demonstrate better long-term values. And I like that the Cardano team has been dependable and transparent in their activities. And the general crypto community seems not to mind their slow pace, given the exponential increase in ADA value that followed the launch of their smart contract services. Well, that's it for today. Do yourselves a favor, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell. Until the next video, fellow investors, this is Matty signing off. Take care, everybody, and don't forget to invest wisely.